Hello Alchemy Divas and welcome back to the channel. It is a delight to have you here with me. Delight. What's not for a better word to describe all the things I love, live and work with regarding the fragrance and the beauty industry. Today's delight is the color blue. Yes, blue is back. Blue is trending. So make sure you watch the whole video to see why everyone is obsessed with the color blue right now. Its proven energy, its beauty in pop culture, the blue color psychology, and the color blue in makeup. So let's head straight into and talk about blue. My boy is here tonight, reveling in all the yarns and chats that I will be getting into. So let's see on the flip side. Ooh, stretch, stretch. So let's start with the color blue psychology and how you can use its symbolism in your makeup. In this case, eyeshadows, for that extra special twist. So whether you're looking for something calming or daringly rebellious, blue always has you covered. Before we explore the gorgeous eyeshadow products I have in front of me today, and I've chosen just 4 palettes out of the many palettes I own, let's talk about the common meanings of the color blue, which are its symbolic meanings, of course, the tranquility, the honesty of blue, the loyalty, how blue stands for stability and calmness, inspiration, creativity, and serenity. So the color blue, darlings, is much more than just a pretty hue. It is much more than that. So let's head straight into the first palette for today. The first palette with a blue included, which I really wanted to share with you today, is this Mothership range Dark Star palette from Pat McGrath. Now this is a palette I got back in 2019. It has been overused for very good reasons. Now, when you see this in a palette, darlings, you know it has been used to its full potential. Disregard anything you may see like that. You automatically will know that alchemy happened here. You created lots of magic with your now slightly diminishing palette. And the blue in this palette, which is called Interstellar, is one of the most superb blues I have ever encountered. So let's talk about this beautiful palette. Once beautiful, now empty. And there was a gold shimmer in there. So this palette has 6 shades. You have 2 mattes and 4 shimmer shades. So Interstellar was a blue that really enticed me. I think I talked about this shade in a couple of other videos of mine. So you have a medium dark bluish purple tinge or hue to this particular color. So it's got very cool undertones and a huge sparkling finish. So this blue also has an opaque pigmentation. I really want to get into it, darlings. And this applies so evenly. For me, it wears very well for up to 9 hours with no fallout, absolutely none. So let's do some swatching with this gorgeous Interstellar shade. Now, what I might do today is running out of space with the little boy right next to me. We will. On a few of my videos, I showed you and demonstrated how to grab product with your brush, either spraying your brush before or after you've picked up product. On this occasion, I'm going to pick up product and then spray. As you can see, I've used half of the color and I'm preserving it since 2019, using it very, very wisely. You can always get this online still. It has been discontinued, I heard. However, all right. And then now we will spray the product on that brush. Everything's getting out of focus because there's just so many things on the table. Come on, there we go. Gorgeous. Bit of a spray. And then we will apply. So do you know where I've used this blue on my eyes? Around the bottom area, in a corner. Your product will all stay exactly where you apply when you spray your brush with product on. If I were to just dab some on the lids, just like that, you can absolutely do that as well, darlings. This is a gorgeous blue, beautiful, beautiful blue, iridescent pigment, and they just do not move. This is for that dab on effect, and this is for something that you want to slightly make a statement with. The gorgeous Pat McGrath Mothership palette in the palette named Dark Star. See if you can find it. I'll put up something in the description and I'll place a picture. See. Pat McGrath Labs Mothership Subliminal Dark Star Palette. Just gorgeous. Remember how I said 6 grams is the great size of any eyeshadow, shimmer, glitter, powder palette? Well, this is 12 grams. You will get superb wear out of this size. Fantastic. Now let's have a little break and come back for our next palette. Just gorgeous. Just gorgeous. Everything's getting out of focus and Polo here is snoring. So do excuse that. And let's head straight into the Dior palette, darlings. This Dior palette is their 5 color range and it's a 5 color palette. It's part of that gorgeous range that they had a couple of years back. And this one is the Cool Wave range. This palette is now discontinued and they have a new blue palette which is labeled the Carry Blue, which has taken over from this palette, which is not really the same in tone but slightly different in hue. I think this palette had the bigger hit and the bigger popularity. So I got this palette in 2020, and Dior is always moving with the times, as with many brands. It's okay for brands to change and improve and bring something else in and evolve. And the idea, darlings, is to always buy double of anything you like at the time, because that way you have some backups. Pretty simple. So for this palette, I'm going to use a smaller brush than the one I used before. They are both very dense, which means unbendable. And this particular brush here is the same. So this is a smaller, dense brush. And what we're going to do is the same way we will pick up, as the Pat McGrath palette, we will pick up some product. Now, I quite like this one, and I also like this one. And this is the Cool Wave palette, which is now discontinued, darlings. We could always use that, which is a dense sponge, but we may just grab some of this one. Bit of a spray onto that, on this corner. And now we are ready to apply those fine lines. What do you think? In the palette, that would be the teal. That would be the absolute teal part of the range of hues. So let's go ahead with something slightly softer and soften it. Let's go for the lighter one. We're going to use no spray because what we are trying to achieve here, darlings, is a bit of a buff, bit of a blend. If you felt like the lines were pretty harsh to your liking, this is absolutely something you can do all over it. Go back in. There is no real rule to apply an eyeshadow. Just a little bit of formalities that one could add, or a little bit of a change in application factors. But there's no given rule with applying eyeshadow. We all know how to do it, darlings. But when you get a palette with 4 colors, there's always a good chance that you can create other looks. This could be your crease area, buffing. Anything you like. Gorgeous. And there is about 7 different looks you can do with this particular palette. It's got 5 colors. Absolutely gorgeous. Love it. And ooh, we have this gorgeous one to show you next, darling. So stick around. We will come back and head straight into this gorgeous. This is something that's from the sea. This is very look. We'll take a short break, and I gotta see what Polo is up to. He might need to move for a bit so that he can get more space at the other corner. Okay. So the third palette, including blue, that I wanted to share is this Tarte Rainforest High Tides palette. So the day this dropped, I ordered it as soon as I woke, darlings. I love myself for that. So you cannot ignore the obvious when it comes to Tarte's packaging. If you have any Tarte brands or items in your collection, whether it be lipsticks or eyeshadows or anything to that nature, you will notice the packaging is very different. They go into so much effort, darlings, when it comes to their packaging. So this gorgeous palette has 4 mattes, 4 shimmers, and 4 glitters. The mattes are very powdery, then creamy, so they are very effortless to blend. And each shade is vibrant and speaks to me on a personal level. These are pressed glitters, so they have a gorgeous formula which goes straight onto your eyes effortlessly, because they're all pressed with their own formula binding structure that goes straight on and sticks on as they come with their own binding agent, or primer, some may call it. Let's try some of the blues in here. Well, I am quite intrigued with a color that is not blue, and it is this one. I'm getting to know my palette. That is gorgeous. All right. So for that blue, we will once again use a softer, fuller, dense brush. Or if you liked, we can do the Let's try it differently this time, darlings. Let's soak our brush and then pick up. Oh my God. You see how much difference it makes when you soak your brush, whether you soak it before you pick up or you pick up and soak. Look at the different looks we created doing that. Pat McGrath, Dior, and now this with the soaked brush. Whereas unsoaked or no primer. Equally beautiful, don't get me wrong, but that's the creative side and the application knowledge that we all need to know about how to create looks the best potential way. So we're going to do the same with this. I just can't get over that, darlings. I just can't get over it. And that is why I love this palette so much. Let's try it with a pick up first and then the spray. It's up to you, darlings, how you like to use that formula, but this is to create definite, wearable, longer lasting color. Gorgeous blue, gorgeous, gorgeous royal blue, almost like that. Just gorgeous. Now when we come back, we will dabble into some of these colors on this rather tiny palette, great for travel, gorgeous, not really a big brand, but does the job. Darlings, let's just take a moment to close this beautiful, gorgeous packaging by Tarte and give it a bit of a whirl and a shake and watch this rainforest sea palette This is how spectacular Tarte is in their packaging. Gorgeous. Thought I'd just add that little bit of a ending to the wonderful Tarte palette. Now something lastly that I wanted to share with you is this gorgeous palette by Pivot. It's actually by Revolution. I have quite a few Revolution products in my collection, and this particular palette is called Pivot. There is a blue in this palette, which I love, and that is that royal blue. Beautiful and gorgeous, perfect for your eye makeup, especially detailed looks. For example, eyeliners around the corners of the eye, and we're going to wet the brush slightly this time and try and go in and create an eyeliner with this very angled thin brush. Picking up some product with our primed brush. Yes. Just say we wanted to perhaps do an eyeliner on the top of the eye. That is great with a brush of that angle, darlings. Corner of the eye, corner above the eye. A bit of a wing. And a bit of a blend. If you wanted to blend that particular look out, you could. I would just wear it as is. As you can see, the method we used with the wet brush or the primer right before application will set that in minutes, darlings. So if you were to blend or wanted to blend, easy. You will still have your dominant line there. Let's try something from a different palette. Let's add some warmth. In case that has dried, we add some more primer or bonding. Oh yes, we can continue the same brush. You know, as we've all learned over the years, the secret is blend, blend, blend. Gorgeous look. This is one of the looks that I love applying on my own eyes. A bit of a harsh, defined eyeshadow line with the wet brush, and of course some warmth or dark warmth color just to soften around the edges. However, most days that's how I use it. Just like that. Because we want drama, we want dramatic eyes. We want nice drama sometimes, darlings. And with all the festive season coming up and approaching, let's do it. I really hope you enjoyed this video, darlings. Give it a thumbs up and a like. I will be uploading a few more videos this week. And remember to always wear your blues. Blue is back, and it's back in a big way. So I'll see you all in the next video. Take care. Bye.